most of you guys don't know, but this dude's 19 and he's out here, pretty much depositing like 30K, 25K a month. Life is so precious. We really only have so much time, and why waste that time?
When I first started, just like, I didn't even know what I was selling. I didn't know what we did. I didn't know what mortgage protection was.
And I come from, a background too of like being somebody, like almost like you feel like the imposter syndrome, right? Where you're like younger and you're like, dude, well, now I'm like rising up to this leadership level. Like, what was that like? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. We're interview the world's future founders and leaders. Today I got my good buddy Ethan with me here. What's going on, man?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Ethan, I know we've been working together for a while. Been seeing you grow within this business, in this industry. Seeing really you grow within the last couple of months has been ridiculous. Watching you start off and continue to get to these peaks and hitting these valleys of despairs and really getting through that and understanding your entrepreneur mindset the entire way, and just listening to your story has been awesome. And yeah, man, just if you don't want, just kind of give us a little bit of your background, just like where you come from, because most of you guys don't know, but this dude's 19 and he's out here pretty much depositing like 30K, 25K a month. And watching his journey has been insane. So just tell us a little about your backstory, brother.
Yeah, like you said, I'm 19. Come from Michigan, so out in the Midwest. And I'm young, bro. I still got the story to tell. So
let's go.
Graduated high school a couple years ago. Kind of just, I guess throughout high school, started to realize that going to college and school and getting a 9-to-5 job wasn't for me. So I kind of just started looking for new opportunities, something where, I had the potential to make a lot and do what I wanted to do.
And, how did you, when you initially came from Michigan, right, you were coming out of high school, like what opportunities were you really looking for coming out?
I really had no idea.
No idea.
I had no idea what I wanted. I just knew I didn't want to be forced to come in somewhere where I hated, work with people I hated, didn't want to be around, and I just wanted to have my own schedule, make a lot of money, and enjoy what I do.
Yeah. And then, obviously, dude, a lot of people, probably watching this, are a lot younger and just looking for an opportunity. Now, a lot of people also have, parents, things probably coaching them like, yo, you should be a doctor, you should go into being a lawyer. What was your parents' like initial thought process of like you kind of leaving home and taking that first step into entrepreneurship?
They was like wanting me to go to college, but they weren't like forcing me. They knew like I had more of a drive. So I guess kind of like when I told them that I wanted to move out to Chicago, do life insurance, they were a little like uneasy with it at first. Mm-hmm. They didn't really fully trust it. And then I guess just kind of because they knew that I knew who was bringing me into this. So they were a little bit more easy with that, but they knew I was just gonna do what I wanted to do anyways. So
that's awesome, man. And you coming from Michigan, were you like a small town, or was that?
No. It was smaller, I guess, not like a city like Chicago where we're at now, but more just like redneck people, kind of. Just the Midwest.
Redneck people.
Yeah.
Were the people that lived in your town, like, is it kind of, because there's a lot of people that I've met that are in smaller towns, and it's like really the only thing that they can do is like be in a factory job, or like that's like kind of the next step of like owning like a really small tiny business there, like a storefront, or like taking over your dad's company. But like that's kind of the mindset that you have in these smaller towns. Is that like kind of something that you experienced, or?
Yeah, pretty much like family-owned businesses and whatever, like kind of doing what, if someone they're doing good in something, doing that kind of.
Did your parents go to college at all, or no?
They went to like community college for like a year or two.
Yeah.
So they didn't even really go to college.
Okay, so your parents didn't go to college, and like, so it wasn't super unfamiliar that like not going to college, you could still like find some sort of success.
Right, yeah. And plus just my family It's like business owners.
Oh, dope.
My great grandpa started like a party store long back. So my grandma, she runs that. My sister, brother, they work there.
Okay.
My dad has a business, so.
And what's your dad doing for business?
Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile, dude. Let's go. That's awesome. Okay, so your parents come from an entrepreneur background, which kind of like was an easy step for you, right? Like investing in your business. I think a lot of like people are always afraid to make that first investment when jumping into a business firsthand. Mm-hmm. And I think, is there anything like that you saw? Obviously, I know you come from that kind of background of a small town, but is there anything that you saw or experienced in your life that made you like, look, whatever I'm gonna get into, I'm gonna go super hard? Because that's something that you've been super consistent that I've seen, is that you're an animal. You just work super, super hard. Mm-hmm. Like, where does that drive come from? Like,
Yeah. Well, I guess just kind of stuff like, I guess I always just kind of had that drive. Mm-hmm. As well as too, just kind of just with my background, like growing up when I was in high school, when I was a senior, or I was a junior, I believe, when I was graduating, pretty much right at the end of my junior year in high school, pretty much around that time, my sister, she got diagnosed with cancer. And that kind of just took over like really fast. Like, it got bad really quick. She started getting really sick, and she ended up passing away. I think it was like my very last day of my junior year in high school.
Oh, shit.
So just when that happened, like my sister would tell me all the time that she knew I was going to do big things. She would always root for me, cheer me on. So I guess when she did pass away, I just like wanted to make her proud, and every day think about her, want to make sure she is proud.
That's awesome, man. I think a lot of the times we're put in these unique situations in our life where, we have these traumatic events that kind of put us in this situation, not like a do or die mindset, but it's like, we don't want someone's life to pretty much, go in vain, right? Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that, no matter what, we're living up to that, whether it's a death in the family, whether it's something that we experience in our day-to-day life. Like for me, when working, in emergency response, like when I saw the first person, die, mm-hmm. that was just a very interesting perspective in life. I really, for me, it was like, life is so precious. We really only have so much time, and why waste that time? Right? Why would I waste that time not striving for my dreams and striving for my passions? And that's a really cool thing that you come from. And like, coming from that experience, is that something that you like look back on whenever you're like going through really hard times or going through like struggles within your career? Because it hasn't always been like ups for you, right? Mm-hmm. Like you've gone through downs. Is that something that you kind of fall back on, or as far as like a mindset to get you back on your feet?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know she's looking above and helps keep me going. And when I don't want to go, I know that I just have something bigger that I need to keep pushing for.
And speaking of those like hard things, because like a lot of people, in my experience in entrepreneurship, right, is they think that they see what's online, they see the just the good sides, right, the good aspects of everything, and it's really tough to know what it's really like, right? You just see flashy cars, you see the watch, and what are some things that you've really like struggled with in your journey that pretty much have just kind of been like, look, this was a defining point where I had to push through? Is there been like any times throughout your time in the industry?
You're saying in this industry?
Yeah.
I guess just like when I first started, just like I didn't even know what I was selling. I didn't know what we did. I didn't know what mortgage protection was.
Yeah.
So I just really had no clue, and I guess I just trusted my upline, trusted what I was seeing around me, and I was like, I've been looking for an opportunity, I'm going to take the risk. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of went in blindly, and I guess just the first couple of months, obviously I had no sales experience. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't realize people actually like call the script, like it looks like some Wolf of Wall Street.
Right, bro.
So I guess just the first couple of months was scary. I moved out of my parents' house for the first time, had to pay bills, had to be able to take care of myself and all that. And then just the first couple months maybe not being as profitable.
Yeah.
And then just kind of going like breaking even and stuff like that was a little scary at first.
Yeah, I mean, dive into that, because I mean, I know, dude, I remember there was times where you would even tell me like, bro, I'm worried, man, like I'm breaking even. And now to see yourself hitting these 30K months of like actually being able to see that revenue and deposits into your business, like, you know, walk me through like, what does that mindset, you know, start off with, right? Because I feel like a lot of people, they don't really understand what that's like to go through those hardships. And I think they really need to hear too is like, what does it take? Because, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs or people in that space, they've had to push through some sort of barrier, right, in order to get to where they wanted to be. What was that experience like when you pushed through it, and how do you feel like you did that?
I mean, it was kind of like what I expected anyways. Like I know like every business, you hear it all the time, like the first couple business, you know, you don't make money the first couple of years. I just like fully trusted what I was seeing the success you were having, everybody else around us is having. And the thing I love about this business is all based on what you do, what you put in is what you're gonna get out. So it's like, if I'm not being successful, I'm not where I wanna be, like whose fault is that?
Right.
It's my fault. So it's something I'm doing, I need to change. And I just had that mindset the whole time. Like I need to be the absolute best, do whatever I can to be where people like you and like where spots that I wanna be at, I'm gonna do what they're gonna do. Be the hardest worker there.
And like, did it ever affect you seeing that like you were the youngest dude there? Like, I mean, bro, you came in, were you 18 when you came in?
No, I was still 19.
Okay, 19, but still, bro, like that's still crazy. And I come from, you know, a background too of like being somebody, like almost like you feel like the imposter syndrome, right? Where you're like younger and you're like, dude, well, now I'm like rising up to this leadership level. Like, what was that like, you know, as far as like your mindset shift?
I love that.
Love it.
I love it, because I know the people that are older, they're looking at me like, what is this kid doing? He's 19, why is he working harder than me, doing better than me? I love that.
That's awesome, bro. That's sweet. And then one thing too, bro, is like, you know, I see that you do put in the work, but what would you say is like, you know, your, not only your vision for your job, but like, you know, what's kind of like your life vision? You know, if like you had to sum it up, like what, you know, why are you doing this, right? Like what kind of brought you into this, and what do you kind of see yourself in the future?
I guess like kind of what keeps me going, and something I kind of learned as I kept going, because I honestly didn't know at first, and I kind of started to learn. But just being around the people we're around, seeing the life they live, and then where I come from, like Michigan, like the top person there that who you're looking up to makes like $100K in a year, which back then it's like, oh my God, he makes 10 grand a month. And then here it's just like, we got people 20 years old doing triple that, more than that.
Right.
So just seeing that, I realized like, I just want to live the absolute best life that I can, live life to the fullest, like do whatever I want to do, not have to be told to go into work on a Saturday at 5 a.m., even though we do, but
right.
I want to be able to do what I want to do, and then give that to my family, give that to my friends, have them be able to just live the best life.
And that's awesome, man. And I feel like, you know, most people just don't really understand the reason why we do what we do. Is like, you know, a lot of people, they surround themselves with, you know, not positive people, right? And like you just said, it's like being in that environment, right? That's one of the most important things. And, you know, I feel like a lot of this generation, they don't understand, you know, the biggest concept of surrounding yourself with the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. Like if you surround yourself with 5 people who are making, you know, $10 an hour, you're gonna make $10 an hour.
Yeah.
All right. If you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you're gonna be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that really holds testament to the amount of effort that it takes to put yourself in that situation, because a lot of people do, they don't want to get out of the bubble, right? They're too scared to make the first step to jump into the opportunity. And like, you know, you see like a lot of your friends back home who are like still in high school, or not high school, or going to college, or, you know, just working kind of minimum wage jobs. Do you feel like people just don't know about opportunities like this? Or like, you know, knowing some of your friends who know what you're doing and the amount of money you're making and the amount of skills that you're learning, like, why do you feel like they're not wanting to do an opportunity like this or change their life? Like, what do you feel like prevents them from doing that?
Bro, I ask that question every day. I think just because I guess I used to be in that spot. Like, if I didn't know Gabe when I was coming into this, I probably would never be here either. Just because like Alex Mosey says it all the time, like, broke people think every opportunity is a scam. No one wants to take a risk and just find out, right? So I guess like people, they're comfortable with what they're doing. They're comfortable with the people they're with. It's just what they've always known. They don't want to take that step out and, take that path by themselves and figure it out. And I guess just because like doing this is scary. We're all commission. You don't have a salary. You don't know if you're gonna make money in that month. So for me, I love that. Because I can make as much as I want.
Right.
I control it.
That's crazy. I mean, I think for most people, it's also relating back to like the lessons that we've learned in our life and the experiences that we've had. And I think a lot of people now in this like younger generation, they pretty much have this I guess you could say uninformed perception of reality, where they just kind of think that everything's fed to them, that they don't have to work super hard to achieve what they want. And like what you're saying, dude, is like, why aren't they experiencing or going through an opportunity? And it's because a lot of people, they're just sucked into their phone, right? They're living somebody else's life. But, I think it's just, they also don't know what an opportunity can do for them. I mean, dude, how many lessons in like, just how much have you grown since you've been here? And since you've been in this business and started your journey as an entrepreneur? Like,
bro, every month I look back, I feel like I'm just a new person. Like I've grown and I already know I'm like a completely different person. And just I've learned so much about business, life, just how to be like a better person, happier. Like I love what I do. I love the city we're in, love the people we're with. I just love everything we do, the person I'm becoming and striving to become, and I've just completely changed as a person. My whole mindset, everything.
That's crazy. And like, what would you say is like one of the biggest lessons that you've learned since you've been here?
I think the biggest lesson I learned is just kind of like having the right like mindset, I guess. Just like, especially with like the job we're in, like sales, like getting told no and over and over and over and just getting the yes.
I mean, what does that mindset like look like for people? Like, for someone who's brand new and they're just like, dude, like I've never been an entrepreneur, I've never been in any sales, I've never done anything. Like, what does that kind of bulletproof mindset look like for people? Like, why, you know what I mean? Like, why do they have to uphold something like that?
I mean, yeah, because like your mindset, especially in what we do, is everything. So if you have a bad mindset, you're negative, you wake up, you're mad, people around you are mad, people around you aren't gonna like you. It's just like, you want to be the person who makes other people's days better, especially the people that we help, make them better, and then you're gonna get that back.
So, and then, I mean, what does your like schedule look like? Like, I'm sure, most people who are seeing this, like, dude, that, for one thing that I learned especially is that, dude, your schedule is everything. Like, I was not a person of routine. Like, I did not believe in routine. I freaking lived in a van, dude. I was working, pretty much just all on my business. I didn't have a healthy work-life balance, pretty much nothing. It was just grind. But like, what did that look like for, just getting a schedule down? Like, what does your daily schedule even look like right now?
Just like my day to day?
Yeah.
So like usually I wake up around 5, go work out at the gym, get to the office around 7:30, just get ready for the day, eat, and then I just pretty much just work all day long. I'm dialing the phones, helping new agents, trying to find new agents to give them this opportunity. And then working in the office usually like 7:30 until like 8, 9. Get home, I eat dinner, I go to bed, and I do it again the next day.
That's dope. And then, I mean, are you in the gym pretty much every day?
Yeah.
Is that something that's helped you? Just your mind?
Oh, 100%.
Why do you feel like it's helped you?
It's the therapy. You let out, if you get told fuck off all day long.
Yeah.
You know, you go hit the gym the next day, you let it go, and you're ready to go. You're bulletproof. You did the hardest thing of the day, like nothing else can stop you. You already got a workout in. You woke up at 5 a.m. It's cold. You want to stay in bed, but you got out. You hit the gym. Like, no one wants to do that.
Now, I know we kind of talked about, you know, your past, what you've come from, just understanding, like coming fresh out of high school, jumping into an experience, an opportunity. Like, what's one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who's just looking for an opportunity to grow, not only make good income, but like looking to take a risk? Like, what a piece of advice would you give to that person?
Well, one, you have to find the right opportunity. So obviously there's a lot of opportunities out there. Once you find that opportunity, there's a lot of stuff that works. People make money and all kinds of stuff. You have to find it and then just block everything else out, take that risk, and then just go all in on that one thing. Like, you know, there's crypto, stocks, real estate, day trading, you know, insurance, whatever. There's all these stuff. You just have to pick one and do it, and then just focus on that and only that, and then just go all in.
That's dope. And I feel like people get like pretty much like shiny object syndrome, right? Or like we call it like silver bullet syndrome, where they're like, oh, this looks cool, this looks cool. Yeah. Oh, bro, I'm gonna do real estate. I'm gonna do, you know, like you said, day trading, right? Drop shipping. And, you know, I used to be like that. Yeah. Like, I never narrowed it down. I mean, in that sense, like, dude, I feel like, you know, you look at like everyone who's successful, like millionaires, billionaires, most of them started in sales.
Yeah.
Like, why do you feel like sales has been something that's pretty much revolutionized your, you know, experiences, but also like your talents and your skills? Why do you feel like if someone's looking into getting into a career to jumpstart their time as an entrepreneur, like, why do you feel like sales is like one of the best things to do? Just from your experience.
I realized after getting into this, sales is literally everything. You're getting sold every single day. And I used to not even realize it. Like, you know, when there's people like coming to check your HVAC system or whatever, I didn't even realize that they were salespeople for that. And you're literally getting sold without even knowing it. Sales is everything you do. Whether you want to start a business, you have to know how to sell. Whether you're selling the people you're bringing in, the product you're selling, you have to know how to sell, and then you just learn so much from being able to sell. You learn how to talk to people, ask the right questions to get the answer you want, all that. Like, you just learn how to be a better person once you know how to sell.
That's dope. I mean, I feel like you're right. I feel like a lot of the times we have this experience in our lives where we don't know how to communicate with people, right? It's something that some people just are born with, and other, you know, it feels like, right, they're born with, or they have that just natural ability. But like, do you feel like you automatically had that natural ability when you came in?
I didn't feel like it at first, but now when I look back at it and kind of like what I'm doing, I'm like, okay, I think I was meant for this.
Yeah. and I mean, I feel like people are like, you know, they're, oh, dude, I can't find what I want to do because I don't know if it's meant for me, right? Like you just said, it's like, I just don't know if this opportunity is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Like, what would you say to people who are pretty much asking themselves, like, oh, I need to know what I'm doing? Because I feel like a lot of people think that, right? They're all in their head. They're like, what's good for me? I don't know what I'm meant to do, what my purpose is. Like, obviously, you know, tell us about your story of like, you know, what that even looked like for you. Because obviously I'm sure you didn't ever think that you would, you know, be in insurance or be in finance.
No, yeah. I used to be that way. I would, like, when I was in high school, like, everybody's figuring out what they want to go to college for, where they're going to college, they're doing all these tours. I just had no idea. And I would get like anxious about that because I knew I always wanted something big for myself. I wanted to live like the best life I could, but I had no idea how or what I was gonna do. And so I kind of just started to figure out, like, just try stuff and just do whatever I could to be successful. And I started just looking around, and eventually I was just like, bro, I think I'm gonna do real estate. I don't know why. I thought people made good money in real estate. And then I kind of looked at a course, started doing a course a little bit. Didn't really fully want to do it at all. Realized it was super hard and people really aren't making money in real estate anymore. And then I just heard about this opportunity. And I just heard about, like, it's life insurance, you know, you sell it over the phone, you work remote, you make really high commissions, you do whatever you want. You know, I'm a boss. And that's when it hit me. I came into our first lock-in after getting my license, and just like hearing Jonah's story, what everybody's doing, I was like, bro, like this is exactly what I was looking for. And from that moment, I moved out the next week to Chicago, packed everything up. Mom, I'm going to Chicago. I'm going to sell life insurance. And I just haven't looked back since.
That's dope, bro. And like, walk me through, like, dude, I mean, being 19, I don't think I even ever saw like $1,000 in my bank account. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like $2,000, $1,000, I was like, holy shit, bro, I'm rich. Like, and I'll just go blow it, right? But like, I mean, walk us through what that was like, just being young and then watching the income just progressively grow. Like what was that like, you know, as far as just being younger, not having really that perception?
That shit was sick.
Yeah.
I remember one of my first couple of deals, we were doing like I got good news, I got bad news.
Yeah.
And then like everybody's telling me to chill out because I'm just so excited. The whole office like heard me doing it. They're like, bro, you got the commission breath, like chill. Like I was so pumped, bro. I just got a deal. I'm about to make like $1,000. Yeah, it's sweet, and that feeling doesn't go away.
Doesn't go away, bro. And like, you know, obviously a lot of people, when they see the money, right, they think as an entrepreneur, it's like you see all these flashy things like the cars, the watches, but people don't see that you're constantly reinvesting, right? And like, what was that learning experience like where you're just like, dude, I need to reinvest into my business, because your business can't live if you don't reinvest in, like, and as an entrepreneur, learning those things coming from a young age, like what was that even like for you?
I mean, I always had the entrepreneur mindset. So even before I did this in high school, when I was working, I always just saved my money. People would always ask me like, what are you saving that for? And I'd be like, I don't know. I'm just saving it. Maybe I'll buy something cool. Maybe I'll buy a cool car once I save enough money. I just didn't know. I wanted to save it.
Right.
But like deep down, I think I knew I was just looking for an opportunity that I could go all in on. And then I realized this was it. So kind of even when I started to make that money, obviously you get urges to go just blow it and buy something super sick that you'll regret later.
Right.
But I started to realize if I just chill out for a little bit, keep reinvesting, it's just going to keep growing, and then eventually you can just do whatever you want. Right.
I feel like people don't have that initial vision. Is they think that stuff just comes to them, right? Is they're like, you know, oh, if I see these guys making millions of dollars, you know, what are they doing? How do I do it? But they don't see all the work. Like one of the craziest things that I've ever heard is, not even crazy, but just one of the most unique things that I heard is this billionaire talking. He's like, dude, everyone sees me living in Miami, they see me having a good life, but what they don't see is the 17 freaking years of grind and dedication, hard work that it took me to get to where I am. But also people to understand is like, I feel like people think that the outcome only means finances, right? I mean, dude, you know, and I know both that once we kind of switched our mindset to not look at the finances as an actual metric of success, but to look at our skills, right? Like, dude, what are we learning? And I feel like for me, at least personally, whenever I made that mental shift that my metric of success was completely based off of my skill set and how I was growing and watching my progression, the finances come. Right? Like, you know, when I was able to see, you know, my business grow consecutively, not only bringing in people, mentoring people, but, you know, watching myself continue to get better and better and better at communicating, like, that to me was where I saw my success. I mean, is that something that you related to at all?
100%, yeah. I already feel like we already are building like lifelong skills. Like just with what I have now, if I just quit out of this business and did something else, I could probably get like decently far with what I know.
I feel like you can like sell anything at this point.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. Well, Ethan, like to wrap it up, bro, I mean, it's been awesome talking to you, but like if you could just, you know, leave one message for people like at home who are just sitting there, like I said, they don't know if they want to take the next step, right? Leave us with two things. Is one, like, what would you say is and we talked about kind of what you want to do with this job and this opportunity, but like, what's one thing that motivates you in the back of your head as far as like your vision for the future? Where do you see your business like in the next 5 years?
That's a good question, bro. In the next 5 years, I mean, I hope to be, kind of with the level where Jonah's at and bigger. I want to have, multiple offices.
And where's Jonah at?
Well, I mean, just doing like $2 million a month, kind of being able to do whatever he wants to do, travel. I want to live that. And I want to just be able to give that opportunity to everybody else. I think that's what I like about this business a lot too. I realize is like anybody that you bring in, you teach them those skills, and you're able to completely change their life. And then once they get good enough, they become a leader. They're able to change their friends' lives, and then it just keeps going and going and going. So like everybody that we bring into this, we're completely changing their life, and I think that's the best part about it. Not the families we help, the people we bring in, just like everybody's life that we affect with this business, it changes for the better. So I think that's awesome. Like I want to just have, a whole lot of agents, as much as I possibly can, and just bring in as many people to this opportunity, have multiple offices around the world, travel, do whatever I want to do. That's
dope, bro. And I think like a lot of people, really connect with that of wanting to build. One quote that I've always lived my life by is someone told me, live life for others, because what's life without them, right? Without other people, we're nothing. They give us experiences, they give us knowledge, they give us talents. And one of the things that I didn't realize when I came into just being an entrepreneur is I thought that, coming from a background of saving people's lives, I thought I had to save people's lives to impact them.
Yeah.
Right. I thought like physically saving them was going to give me that like motivation to continue to pursue and just, feel good. That reward system, right? Of like actively doing something to help someone. But what I quickly realized was this being an entrepreneur, not only in this industry that we're in, life-changing industry, but the ability to be an entrepreneur and bring people into the opportunity you're in and give them the knowledge, training, and everything to be successful, like that's just gonna push them, and you're gonna watch their family be financially free. You're gonna watch, if they have kids, you're gonna watch their kids be able to grow up with a dad or a mom who has figured out how to level themselves up. But now they're gonna pass it on to their family, their kids, grandkids. It's just gonna keep being generational. But also, whatever business opportunity they might be next, it's gonna come from you. And they're gonna teach the next generation of people and the next line of people who come into their life. And it's this domino effect. But where did it come from? It came from you and me, right? Because we were the ones who took that initiative, who took that step into taking a risk, right? And a risk on ourselves to initially get into an opportunity that there wasn't a certain outcome. There wasn't a base salary. There wasn't a daily pay that we knew we would come home to. But because we took that initiative and step, now we were able to bring that to other people. And dude, that inspired me. That made me realize the opportunity of being an entrepreneur was so important than just working some sales job in a corporate lifestyle, because I'm not going to gain the things that I could be gaining in this situation. Dude, I've become a therapist, bro. I've literally feel like I've lived 9 lives in the last year of even being in this industry, but the last like 4 years of being an entrepreneur, I feel like I've aged like 50 years. Yeah. Because I've come across so many unique situations of individuals, and dude, I really connect with that. I think that's super, super cool. Last thing, dude, is if you had to leave people with something, right, just a vision, something that they can strive for, leaving them with a message. They're watching this, they don't know what to do, if they should take a step in entrepreneurship, what would you leave? What would you give to them? Bro, I mean, I would say, especially if you're young and you don't know what you want to do, or you have big goals, big ambitions, and you're driven and you're willing to work hard, and I would say just take the risk. You're young, bro. Like what's the worst that can happen? Like just why not find out, try it. If you see people that you trust are doing it, like why not just try and learn from them? I think just drop your ego,
take the risk and go all in on something and see what happens. Like it's real. Like you see it all the time on like TikTok and all that. Like 6 months, 1 year can change your life. It's true, bro. I used to see this stuff at home, and like I was that person that like didn't want to do that, but I got brought into it, and now I just want to give that opportunity to others and just completely see everybody around me and their life change. So I would say, bro, just like take the risk, go all in on something, and then just do it every single day.
I love that, bro. Well, Ethan, brother, it was a pleasure, man. Thanks for being on the pod and helping people out and honestly showing the young generation what it's like to become successful and go through hardship, dude. You are a prime example of someone who will find ultimate success in life, and I honestly can't wait to see what you do in the future, brother.